Have you ever had one of those days where you feel like you're doing everything right, but your body just feels off? That nagging feeling that you've lost a step, that your vitality isn't what it used to be. What if I told you that a huge part of the solution isn't in a pharmacy, but hiding in plain sight, right in your own kitchen? The very appliance you trust to preserve your food, your refrigerator, might be silently undermining your health and your journey toward longevity. We're about to uncover 9 common foods that you should never ever refrigerate, and the science will honestly astound you. Before we begin this journey to better well-being, please do me a quick favor. Tap that like button, subscribe to our channel for more life-changing tips, and pop a comment below to let us know where in the world you're watching from. I truly love seeing where our wonderful community of seniors is tuning in from. This isn't about some fleeting internet fad or a complicated diet that's impossible to follow. Oh no, this is about making small, simple adjustments to your daily routine that can have a massive impact on your quality of life. True healthy aging is built on a foundation of smart, consistent, healthy habits. It's about understanding the why behind the what, empowering you to take control of your nutrition and, by extension, your independence. The knowledge we're sharing today is a cornerstone of that foundation, a secret key to unlocking more energy, better digestion, and a more vibrant you. It's about making your food work for you, not against you. The path to lasting happiness and well-being often starts with the choices we make in our own homes. It's not always about grand gestures or strenuous new exercise routines, though those have their place. Sometimes the most profound changes come from correcting the little mistakes we've been making for years without even realizing it. Think of this as a friendly course correction, a guide to help you navigate the world of nutrition with more confidence and wisdom. We're here to ensure that every meal you prepare is contributing positively to your health, supporting an active mind, and fueling your desire for a long, joyful life. Let's start with a humble kitchen staple, the potato. We all love them, right? Baked, mashed, roasted, they're like a warm hug on a plate. But here's the shocker. Putting a raw potato in your refrigerator is one of the worst things you can do for your health, the ball. Cold environment triggers a process that converts the potato starches into sugars. This isn't just a small change, it fundamentally alters the potato's composition in a way that can be genuinely detrimental, especially for seniors who are mindful of their blood sugar levels and overall nutrition. This simple storage mistake can turn a comforting food into a hidden source of concern. Now you might think, so what if it's a little sweeter? But it goes much deeper than taste. When you take these sugar-loaded potatoes and cook them at high temperatures, like frying or roasting, a chemical reaction occurs. These newly formed sugars combine with an amino acid to create a compound called acrylamide. The International Agency for Research on Cancer classifies this substance as a probable human carcinogen. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? That by trying to preserve a simple vegetable, we could inadvertently be creating a risk factor that directly opposes our goals for longevity and well-being. Beyond the serious health implications, there's the matter of simple enjoyment and quality of life. The cold doesn't just change the chemistry, it ruins the texture. The chill breaks down the potato's cellular walls, leading to that unpleasant, gritty and mealy texture you've probably experienced in a disappointing batch of mashed potatoes. You might have blamed the recipe or the cooking method, but the culprit was likely the refrigerator. Achieving that perfect, fluffy mash is a small but significant part of culinary happiness, and proper storage is the first step. So what's the right way to care for your potatoes, and in turn, your health? It's wonderfully simple. Store them in a cool, dark and dry place, like a pantry or a paper bag in a cupboard. Good air circulation is key, so never keep them in a plastic bag where moisture can build up and cause rot. And here's a pro tip for maintaining your healthy habits. Keep them far away from onions. The gases they release cause each other to spoil faster. This simple act is a perfect example of how smart nutrition begins long before you start cooking, contributing directly to your independence in the kitchen. All right, let's move on to another household favorite that often ends up in the cold: bread. This one surprises nearly everyone. We put bread in the fridge thinking we're extending its life, right? It feels like the logical thing to do. However, science tells us the complete opposite is true. Your refrigerator is actually the fast track to stale, disappointing bread. The The cold, dry air accelerates a process called starch retrogradation, which is just a fancy way of saying the starch molecules crystallize and push moisture out, making your loaf hard and crumbly 6 times faster than if you just left it on the counter. It's not just about the texture either. The soul of a good loaf of bread is its aroma and flavor, wouldn't you agree? That comforting, yeasty smell that fills the kitchen and makes a simple sandwich a moment of pure happiness. The cold temperatures in your refrigerator effectively kill these delicate flavor compounds. They break down rapidly, leaving you with something that might look like bread, but tastes more like bland cardboard. For seniors who often experience a diminished sense of taste, preserving the full flavor of your food is crucial for maintaining a good appetite and enjoying meals, which is vital for good nutrition. The best way to preserve that, fresh from the baker quality, is to go old school. A simple bread box or a paper bag at room temperature is the ideal environment. These methods allow for just enough air circulation to prevent mold while maintaining the humidity needed to keep the loaf soft and flavorful. This small adjustment is one of those healthy habits that elevates your daily quality of life. It respects the food and, in doing so, respects your well-being. It's a little touch of wisdom that ensures a simple pleasure remains just that, a pleasure. But what if you can't finish a whole loaf in a few days? I get it, waste is a real concern. The answer isn't the fridge, it's the freezer. Here's the trick, slice the bread before you freeze it. That way you can just pop a frozen slice or two directly into the toaster whenever you need it. Freezing happens so quickly that it locks in the moisture and structure without the damage caused by slow chilling. This preserves the taste and texture beautifully, ensuring you get the most out of every loaf. It's these little kitchen secrets that support both your health and your finances, a win-win for smart, independent living. If you're finding these tips helpful, a quick tap on the like button is a wonderful way to show your support. Next on our list is nature's golden treasure, honey. This is perhaps one of the most resilient foods on the planet. They've found edible honey in ancient Egyptian tombs. It literally never spoils. So, the idea of refrigerating it is, frankly, a bit silly, but many people do it. Putting honey in the cold is the fastest way to ruin its perfect, smooth consistency. The low temperatures cause it to crystallize rapidly, turning that beautiful, flowing liquid into a thick, grainy, and nearly solid mass that's a real pain to scoop out and use. This process makes it incredibly difficult to enjoy. The problem isn't just the annoying crystallization. Each time you take a cold jar of honey out of the refrigerator and open it in the warmer air of your kitchen, condensation forms inside. This introduces moisture, and moisture is the one enemy of honey. It can dilute the honey and, over time, can compromise its legendary antimicrobial properties. These are the very properties that make honey such a powerful tool for well-being, used for centuries as a natural remedy. By refrigerating it, you're unintentionally watering down its natural power and diminishing its contribution to your healthy habits. Furthermore, you're sacrificing its incredible flavor. High-quality honey has a complex and nuanced taste profile, with over 180 different compounds contributing to its unique character. Cold storage messes with these compounds, causing them to break down unevenly. Your expensive raw Manuka honey can end up tasting like a one-note sugary syrup. Preserving these flavors is key to the enjoyment of food, which is a vital component of happiness and quality of life at any age, but especially for seniors. Storing honey couldn't be easier and is essential for maintaining its benefits for your health. Just keep it in a tightly sealed container at room temperature. A spot in your pantry or a kitchen cabinet is perfect. Keep it away from direct sunlight, which can degrade its quality, but there's absolutely no need for refrigeration. If your honey ever does crystallize, which can happen naturally over time, don't panic. Simply place the jar in a bowl of warm, not boiling water, and stir it gently until it returns to its liquid state. It's a simple fix that preserves its nutritional integrity. Now, for all the coffee lovers out there, please take a seat. What I'm about to say might feel like a personal attack, but I promise it comes from a place of love for both you and your morning brew. Storing your precious coffee beans or grounds in the refrigerator is a cardinal sin in the world of coffee. You are actively destroying what makes coffee so wonderful. Beans are porous, like little sponges, and you're Fridge is full of stray odors from last night's takeout, that bit of onion or that pungent cheese. Your coffee is soaking all of that up, which is why your morning cup might taste a bit funky. Odor absorption is just the tip of the iceberg. The real damage comes from moisture. The constant, albeit slight temperature fluctuations every time you open the fridge door create condensation on the beans. Moisture is the arch nemesis of roasted coffee, leading to premature aging and robbing the beans of their precious aromatic oils. These oils are where the vast majority of the flavor resides. When they get cold, they solidify. When you then try to brew with these cold, compromised beans, you can't extract the full flavor, resulting in a weak, lifeless, and disappointing cup of coffee. This directly impacts your morning ritual, a cherished moment of peace and happiness for so many of us. A great cup of coffee can set a positive tone for the entire day, stimulating an active mind and providing a comforting start. Sacrificing that for a misplaced storage habit just isn't worth it. To ensure your coffee contributes positively to your quality of life, you need to protect its integrity. Your dedication to your health and well-being should extend to the simple pleasures that bring you joy each day. The proper way to store coffee is in an airtight, opaque container at a stable room temperature. Light and oxygen are just as bad as moisture, so a clear jar on the counter isn't ideal. The best healthy habit you can adopt for your coffee is to buy it in smaller quantities that you'll use within a week or two. Freshness is paramount. If you must buy in bulk, divide it into weekly portions in airtight bags and freeze them. Only take out one bag at a time and never ever refreeze it. See how much power we have over our own well-being? If you agree, let me know in the comments which of these has surprised you the most so far. Let's talk about garlic, the flavor-packed powerhouse of the kitchen and a champion for senior health. It's renowned for its incredible benefits for heart health and the immune system. But you guessed it, the refrigerator is where this powerful little bulb goes to die. When you store garlic in the cold, moist environment of the fridge, it gets confused. It thinks it's spring and starts to sprout. Those little green shoots you see are not only bitter, but they are also a sign that the garlic is channeling its energy away from the clove, diminishing its potent flavor and health properties. The most critical loss, from a health and longevity perspective, is the depletion of allicin. Allicin is the miracle compound in garlic, responsible for most of its medicinal, antibacterial, and antiviral benefits. Research has shown that refrigerated garlic can lose a significant amount of its allicin content in a very short time. So, by putting it in the fridge, you are literally throwing away the very essence of what makes garlic a cornerstone of a healthy nutrition plan. You're getting the flavor maybe, but you're missing out on the profound benefits for your well-being. And just like with potatoes, the texture suffers immensely. Cold temperatures wreak havoc on garlic's cell walls, turning a firm, crisp clove into a soft, rubbery and mushy mess. If you've ever tried to mince refrigerated garlic, you know the struggle. It turns into a sticky paste that's impossible to work with, clinging to your knife and fingers. This makes cooking more of a chore than a pleasure, and enjoying the process is a key part of maintaining independence and happiness in the kitchen. Properly storing garlic is as easy as can be and vital for preserving its power. It needs to be kept in a cool, dry place with good air circulation. A mesh bag, a wire basket, or even an old pair of pantyhose hanging in your pantry works perfectly. The goal is to keep it dry and let it breathe. A whole head of garlic stored this way can last for months, retaining its firm texture, pungent flavor, and most importantly, all the properties that contribute to healthy aging. It's a simple switch for a huge nutritional payoff. Okay, deep breath. Let's move on to a tropical favorite, the banana. This one is a bit more intuitive for some, as we've all seen what happens when a banana goes in the fridge. It quickly turns into a sad, black, mushy mess. But the damage is more than just skin deep. Bananas are tropical fruits. Their cells have absolutely no natural defense against the cold. The chill causes a phenomenon called chilling injury, where the cell membranes rupture, causing the fruit to break down from the inside out. It's a truly traumatic experience for the fruit. This cellular breakdown has a direct impact on the banana's nutritional value, which is a real shame, because they are a fantastic source of potassium and vitamin C, both crucial for senior health. The cold temperatures completely halt the ripening process. A banana ripens from the outside in, developing its sugars and beneficial compounds as it goes. Refrigeration stops this process in its tracks. You're not preserving the banana, you're suspending it in an unripe state while its skin dies, and you lose a significant portion of its vitamin content in the process. The black skin isn't just an ugly cosmetic issue, it's a sign that the fruit's natural defenses have completely failed, and the tissue underneath has started to decay. This creates a less than appetizing texture and can even harbor bacteria. For a fruit that's so important for providing quick energy and supporting muscle function, getting the most out of it is essential. Your pursuit of longevity and well-being deserves better than a nutritionally compromised chilled banana. For optimal nutrition and enjoyment, bananas should be stored at room temperature, ideally on a banana hook, to prevent bruising and allow for even ripening. If you want to slow down the ripening process, you can separate the bananas and wrap each stem in a bit of plastic wrap. This reduces the release of ethylene gas. Once a banana is perfectly ripe, if you really must, you can keep it in the fridge for a day or two to hold it there, but the best option for preservation is to peel it, chop it up and freeze it for the most delicious creamy smoothies. Taking control of your health and independence is what it's all about. If you're enjoying this journey, consider subscribing so you don't miss out on more tips for a vibrant life. Now for a food that forms the base of so many wonderful dishes, the onion. Along with garlic, it's a flavor foundation. Unfortunately, it's also a common victim of mistaken refrigeration. The primary issue with putting a whole onion in the fridge is the humidity. Your refrigerator is a very humid environment, which is the absolute enemy of a dry, papery onion. The excess moisture quickly penetrates the outer layers, turning the onion soft and creating the perfect breeding ground for mold, including black mold that can produce harmful toxins. Beyond the risk of spoilage, the cold temperature fundamentally changes the onion's character in a way that can ruin your cooking. Just like with potatoes, the cold converts the onion's starches into sugars. This might sound nice, but it makes the onion unpleasantly sweet and completely alters how it behaves in the pan. If you've ever tried to get that beautiful, deep, golden brown caramelization for a French onion soup and ended up with a pale, mushy pile, a refrigerated onion was likely your problem. It loses its ability to brown properly. This transformation from a pungent, savory vegetable to a soft, sweet one can throw off the balance of your recipes, impacting the final taste of your meal. For seniors, maintaining enjoyment in food is a key part of ensuring adequate nutrition. When food tastes right and behaves as expected during cooking, it enhances the entire experience, from preparation to consumption. This contributes to a higher quality of life and fosters the happiness that comes from creating and enjoying a delicious home-cooked meal. The correct storage for whole onions is a cool, dry, and well-ventilated space. A pantry or cellar is ideal. A mesh bag or basket that allows air to circulate freely is the perfect container. And as we mentioned with potatoes, it is critical to store them separately. The gases they release are not friends and will cause both to spoil much faster. The one exception to the no fridge rule is for cut onions. Once an onion's flesh is exposed, it becomes vulnerable to bacteria and must be stored in an airtight container in the refrigerator and used within a few days. And now we arrive at the food that might be the most controversial and shocking of all, the tomato. So many of us have been told to refrigerate tomatoes to keep them fresh. My friend, I am here to tell you that this is perhaps the worst advice you could follow. The science on this is clear and devastating. Refrigeration doesn't just make a tomato taste bland, it actively and permanently turns off the genes responsible for creating its flavor compounds. This isn't temporary. Once those genes are shut down by the cold, they never fully recover, even if you let the tomato warm up on the counter. My good friend Dr. Henry, a specialist in geriatric nutrition, explained it to me this way. The cold essentially tells the tomato its life is over, so it stops all the processes that make it a tomato. It becomes a sad red water balloon. This genetic shutdown has profound implications for your health. Tomatoes are one of our best sources of lycopene, a powerful antioxidant crucial for heart health and protecting against certain cancers, a major focus in healthy aging. Cold storage can reduce the availability of this vital nutrient by a staggering amount, but the nutritional devastation doesn't stop there. For your body to properly absorb the lycopene that remains, it needs to be paired with certain enzymes that are also present in the tomato. You guessed it, refrigeration completely destroys these essential enzymes. So, not only are you getting far less of the good stuff, but your body can't even use what's left. It's a nutritional double whammy that undermines your efforts to maintain good health and longevity through your diet. The textural damage is just as bad. The cold creates ice crystals that puncture the tomato's delicate cell walls from the inside out, resulting in that mealy, grainy texture we all loathe. To preserve the tomato's integrity, flavor, and health benefits, you must store it at room temperature, stem side down to prevent moisture loss. Keep them on your counter, out of direct sunlight. They will reward you with the incredible taste and nutrition that nature intended, supporting your well-being with every bite. Finally, we've reached our #1 food you must never refrigerate, the avocado. This creamy, green superstar is a cornerstone of a modern healthy diet, especially for seniors. It's packed with over 20 essential nutrients and, most importantly, healthy monounsaturated fats that are crucial for brain health and maintaining an active mind. Putting an avocado in the refrigerator is an act of nutritional sabotage. The cold temperatures trigger a process called lipid peroxidation, which rapidly oxidizes these precious fats, turning them from beneficial nutrients into harmful free radicals. The devastation to its antioxidant content is almost total. Researchers found that a refrigerated avocado can lose up to 90% of its antioxidant activity within just a few days. 90%. These are the compounds, like vitamins E and C, that fight inflammation, support eye health, and help your body absorb nutrients from other foods. They are your allies in the quest for healthy aging and longevity. To have them so completely destroyed by a simple storage mistake is a tragedy for anyone focused on their well-being. But here's the truly shocking part. The cold doesn't just pause the ripening process. It activates a specific enzyme that aggressively destroys the fruit from within. This enzyme is what causes browning, but in the cold, it goes into overdrive, breaking down cell walls and turning healthy compounds into bitter, unpleasant substances. This is why a refrigerated avocado often has that stringy, watery, and slightly off taste. The beautiful, creamy texture is irreversibly ruined, and your plans for a perfect guacamole are dashed before you even begin. To get the full brain-boosting, health-promoting benefits of an avocado, you must store it correctly. Keep unripe avocados on your counter at room temperature. Once an avocado is perfectly ripe, you can refrigerate it for a day or two to hold it there, but the quality loss is significant. A better strategy is to buy them at different stages of ripeness. If you only use half, keep the pit in the remaining half. Brush the flesh with lemon juice and store it in an airtight container with a piece of onion. This is one of the most important healthy habits you can learn for preserving this superfood's power. So, there you have it. 9 simple changes that can profoundly impact your health, your happiness, and your wallet. This isn't just about food, it's about reclaiming the full nutritional power that nature intended for us. Every nutrient counts on our journey toward longevity, and we can't let a simple appliance like a refrigerator stand in the way of our well-being and independence. You are the master of your kitchen, and now you have the knowledge to make it a true sanctuary of health. What's one small change you'll make this week after learning all of this? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I promise I read every single one. And please don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so we can continue this wonderful journey to healthy aging together. Up next, we have an essential video on the best exercises for maintaining an active mind that you absolutely will not want to miss.